So I want to talk a little bit about what it takes to be rich in the UK in 2024. So what do we think is rich? So top 10% in Britain. If you want to be in the top 10% of earners in Britain, you need to be earning £67,000 a year. I don't know whether you think that's high, think whether that's too low, whether that's about exactly what you expected. Um, on reflection, I would have guessed slightly higher than that, only because I hear of that there's so many new billionaires been created over the last 14 years, them kind of headlines all the time. I just would have thought the average would have been a little bit higher than £67,000. Okay, so what do you need to earn to be in the bottom 10% in the UK? Well, at the moment, that's £20,000 a year. So if you're earning £20,000 a year or less, then you're in the bottom 10% of earners in the UK. And what about the middle? Well, the middle is currently sat at £35,000. So if you earn £35,000 or more, you are in the top half of earners in the UK. Again, I don't know whether you think that's high or low. For me, it just sounded a bit. If I'd have had to guess, I'd have probably been £2,000 up or £2,000 down. It kind of feels about that the average number for me. But it'd be interesting to hear what you thought, whether you thought that was high or not. Okay, so we've talked about the bottom 10%, top 10%. What about the top 1%? Now that's a much smaller number than the top 1%, obviously, isn't it? So we are stretching here a bit. So the average for the top 1% earners in the UK in 2024 is £179,000, which is a really high number, isn't it? So that's, well, it is the top 1%. So I'm not saying I'm surprised, but I do recognise that earning £179,000, you are rich here in the UK. So how's that affected by your age? So if you're in the 22 to 25 bracket, then the average earner in the UK is £27,000. So we talked, didn't we, about the average being 35,000 in general. So if you are kind of 45 to 55 area, then the average does go up quite a bit. Then it goes up to 37,000 actually. However, when you get from that point, you've peaked really in your salary. So when you get to 60 plus, the average income, because not always earnings, but the average income for a 60-year-old is £21,000. So, there is a rise towards a peak when you're kind of around the 35 to 40 point, and then average earnings do kind of drop off after that and into your 60s, when a lot of people won't be working. They'll still, they'll be drawing basic pensions, and the basic pension is only 11,500. So that kind of factors into why we get down to 21,000 average earning when you get 60 plus. So what are the salaries in the UK that are going to earn you, either make you rich or to at least put you in the top 10% of earners in the UK? Well, if you're going to go for being rich, then you're probably looking at something like a footballer or a top content creator. They're the kind of salaries that people think about in the UK when they think about rich, or celebrity, actor, that kind of thing. But to get into the more mainstream professions, shall we say, if you become a project manager, say an IT project manager, fairly senior project manager, you'd be looking to earn about £65,000 in the UK. Same for a commercial pilot, about 65,000 if you're flying a plane. If you want to get into things like cybersecurity, again, that pays around £65,000 a year. Air traffic controller, a little bit less, probably around £60,000 a year. From then, we're getting down into computer software developer, maybe again £60,000 a year, which earns the same as a train driver. So if you're driving a train in the UK, you earn about £60,000 a year. If you're a project manager, say in construction, you're probably around £55,000 a year. Still a very good salary. If you want to work on an oil rig, again, 50,000, 53,000, 55,000 pound a year, something like that. So they're the kind of professions which are paying pretty well in the UK at the moment. But what is rich? What is rich? So I was thinking about this morning, who is the richest person I know? So I was going through different people I've met over my 55 years, and the one I pulled out was a guy I've known since I was probably a teenager. He is a carpet fitter. He works for a carpet fit company, doesn't own a company or anything. And I meet him 3 times a year, maybe. I would class him as probably the richest person I know. Now, in the couple of 100 times we've spent time together, he's always brought a little bit of light into my day. He's a cheery chappy. He's always really bubbly. He's always has a quip and a little story for you, you know. And when I've worked with him professionally, he's come and fitted carpets on a few projects I've been on, and does a great job and seems to really, really enjoy it as well. I've obviously known him for a long time, so I have met him socially on quite a few occasions. When I see him out with his family, he's got a couple of young kids. Wife, a couple of years younger than me, he's probably, I'd say, 53, something like that. And they always seem to be having a great time. You know, obviously, I don't see him all the time, so I'm sure they have bad days just the same as everyone else. But for me, when on all a couple of 100 occasions I've come across him in my life, he always seems to be a bubbly character. I know when I've had to do crush on social events, he's always really popular with the friendship groups I'm in as well. You know, everyone seems to like him. So he's got it nailed, I think. Seems to love his job. Seems to have great friendship groups and is really popular in them friendship groups. The interactions I've seen him with his family, he seems to really enjoy family time as well. I think he's got it nailed in terms of richness. And also, he's quite a physical guy in that, you know, carrying carpets around, thick carpets, you have to be quite fit, and he seems fit to me. I know I've seen him playing football up into his 50s, so he's obviously keeps himself healthy as well. Never heard of him having any particular serious illnesses, but you don't know him that well, to be honest. So, you know, if I could pick the ideal balance of richness, I don't see him having any money worries, but it wouldn't come up. It doesn't seem an important factor. In the couple 100 times I've met him, we've never talked money. We've never talked cars or wealth in any kind of way. I have no idea whether I drive a bigger car than him or he drives a bigger car than me. It wouldn't matter. It's not on his radar at all. He's much healthier than me. He does a physical job, seems to really enjoy it. You know, family relationships from an outsider seem excellent as well. So if we think about how we increase our richness here in 2024 in the UK, we can do tax planning. We can ensure, you know, we're putting our money in the right places for pensions for the future, and we can ask the boss for a pay rise. But is that where we need to focus most of our attention? Have we got the other two areas nailed around friends and family as being one area, and then the other area being your health? I know I haven't got the health one nailed. I'm working on both them things. So, you know, yesterday I caught up with a couple of really old friends, went out for a breakfast with them. It was great to catch up. So, you know, I am really making an effort there. I'm trying to make an effort on the health as well, but doing a lot of traveling at the moment in the car a lot. So that is tricky. No excuses really. I need to do better on that particular aspect of wealth around my health. So I am gonna really focus on them areas this year. So have a think yourself about your own wealth, where you are on that scale of, most importantly, health. I'd say second most important is friends and family. Third most important is your bank balance. So have a think about where you are on that, and what, if you can, put yourself together a little plan of what you need to do, think and do on each. I talk a lot about this quite a lot on the channel. I cover all three aspects. So if this is something you're interested in, do like and subscribe. It really helps. And also, what I notice is that over 80% of people who regularly watch these videos actually aren't subscribed. So if you're one of them, naughty, click that subscribe button if you like and enjoy the videos that I put out. Be really grateful. Thanks for listening, as always. Cheers.